Ryan, talk really quick.
In sonic
Talking.
booms all day.
Feels
Sounds
weird.
about good.
All right.
Okay.
Yep.
fine.
We're live? We're live. How's it going, everyone in the chat? We got a lot of names, probably too many to mention at this point, but
Yep.
good to see you all. Joined by all my friends here that you already know. We got Tim, myself, Ryan, Tyler, Eric behind the camera.
Yep.
And
What episode are we on? Are we on episode 69 yet?
we got to be close.
We're 60-something, so we're coming up there.
Eric, what is it?
67.
You'll know when it's 69.
Yeah.
I think it's like 66.
Ah,
Oh,
all
dang,
right.
that's kind of close.
3 more weeks, and then the title of the podcast is just going to be Nice.
The whole thumbnail.
Yeah, just nice. So what are we talking about today?
Yeah. Actually, Tyler, do you want to intro the topic? I got to go grab a shirt.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So while Trevor goes and gets some new merch
Look at
that just dropped today, we are going to talk about, we're having a little platform wars today, ATS versus Camaro.
Ooh.
Specifically, 6th-gen Camaros.
Okay.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, we could include the other ones, but we don't do anything with them, so it'd be a little boring there.
We have a few brake kits for some of them.
Yeah, we do. We do 5th gens, you know. All right, Trev, what do we got here?
New shirt?
We have our green, but it's not army green.
Cyber shirts.
Cyber.
Cyber.
So yeah, buy them. It's pretty cool. It's a nice color. They're really thin. It's a good
Yeah.
spring shirt.
Super lightweight shirt.
Yep.
Ounces make pounds.
So yeah, ATS
true.
versus Camaro, and pros, cons. Which one's better? Which one's worse? I don't think we have any rules here.
I mean, we're
Boxing gloves are off.
I kind of think we should take it like point by point.
we're
Like,
mostly
otherwise
talking
it-
2 liters.
Yeah.
But I think we can bring the V's and the
the
big
SS
boy,
is in. Yep.
big
I
boys in
mean,
here.
the V is one of our platform vehicles, so why
Yeah.
not?
And
Yep.
Yeah,
Steve
the-
has an SS, so
See?
yeah,
It is
you
a
know,
we
it's-
support their suspension.
semi-platform.
So
Yeah, we support their suspension and brakes.
Yep.
So there we go.
Yep.
There we go. So all I'm saying is, I don't know, do we like break it up into
do
topics?
you
Like,
guys want to say your Camaro and ATS experiences?
Okay.
So like Tim, you've had 2 ATS-Vs, I believe.
Yep.
Did you ever have a regular ATS?
No.
Okay.
Never have.
But
I've
you've
been
probably
in
driven
many.
Yeah.
900
Oh,
of
yeah.
them.
for those that don't know, Tim tunes the 13 through 15 ATSs,
Yep.
2
Yep.
liters, so
And all the V's.
and all
Yep.
these.
And all the Sonics, but those are a different subject. My personal preference, I'd say it was just going around the table. My personal preference is the ATS, because I like the idea of the luxury go fast car.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
a big difference between like a luxury car and then like a sports car.
Yeah.
Like I like having that weird balance of
Well,
like
and
luxury
you're
and
a
speed.
BMW guy, Mercedes. You're in that realm.
Yeah.
So especially an ATS-V fits perfectly with your
yeah.
what
Like
you want.
for example, I'll try to not mention too much because I don't want to break up the story. But like when I was racing my ATS-V in Grid Life, like there were a lot of people that loved seeing an ATS
Yeah.
out on the race course because you don't see Cadillacs on the track.
No.
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 So I was like the only Cadillac, and that was pretty cool.
Yep.
That was probably when they were a lot newer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were
People
still in
didn't even
production.
know what
Yeah.
they were.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was cool because I was the only Cadillac, I think, at the entire event racing.
I would imagine.
How many
And if I was a
times-
Camaro, I would have been nothing special.
yeah.
Because at the race course, is there Camaros? Yeah, there's a
Yes.
whole bunch of them.
Always are.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
we
it's
just saw a picture resurface yesterday of
Yeah.
that car again.
Yep.
So that way, I mean, you originally started road coursing your black car in 2018, and then you also had that one at the drag strip plenty of times, and you went 10.34.
That car.
That was a
Yeah,
record car.
yeah,
Yeah.
1034.
Yeah, which at the time was the fastest V in a manual.
Still
Nonetheless.
fastest
Oh, yeah.
manual.
Yep.
Still fast as manual.
There we go. And then, yeah, so I, on the opposite end of the spectrum, have a Camaro at the road course, which is common, but uncommon was the LTG. And it shocks a lot of people how capable that car is, especially on a tighter course, the autocrosses that I went to. Specifically,
Tim is a little quiet.
Trev and I were down at Camaro Fest in 2019. Yeah, 2019, and I was in the top 4 or 5 people out of the entire group of Camaros. So it was 4th gens, 5th gens, 6th gens. I was beating ZL1 1LEs on the
Nice.
autocross.
Nice.
And these dudes would come over and they're like, that sounds weird. What is
Yeah.
that? And there were so few 2-liters that year that I was just grouped in the V6 class. So, yeah, I mean, I've had that at the drag strip. I've had it at the road course. I daily drive it. It's a awesome car. It's very fun. It's a bit impractical. I don't know why it has back seats. And
Insurance.
yeah, probably. But yeah, so we'll
So
get into that.
Can
further,
you
but-
not call the Camaro a muscle car? You have to call it a sports car? How
No,
does
dude,
that work?
Dude, that is, if you go down that road, there will be so many people in the comments because there's the pony car and the muscle car and the
Yeah.
you're gonna go down
But
a
then
bad road. You're gonna go
There's
down a
people
bad
that
road.
don't consider it sports car because it's got to be like
Yeah, some people
two-seater.
some people consider it a pony car, and then other people will say no, it's a muscle car.
I
Like,
thought Pony was a specific era, like
I don't know.
69
All the
to
Mustang guys
72.
call all their cars pony cars.
Well,
like
I'd-
V8,
I would
anything.
imagine that's because they have a.
well, no,
yeah,
like I've
horse
heard
on
them and I will say you guys in the chat definitely let us know, because there is some they say technically there's a denomination difference between a muscle car,
Mm-hmm.
a pony car, a sports car, because I've heard the term said that no modern V8 car is a muscle car, like it's that's
Oh.
like a denomination for an older stuff.
Like even a new SS is not
A muscle car.
muscle car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because they actually handle now, unlike when they used
yeah,
Pretty much.
exactly. So, but some people will consider it a sports car because
Independent rear suspension was the line there.
Yeah, yeah. I would say they're sports cars. The Camaro, especially right now, the SS1LE is the best bang for your buck sports car you can get.
Agreed.
I mean, $50,000 and you get a 400 plus horse car with the best chassis GM's ever made. Like, you can't deny that
come
that's a
with
sports car.
325 square, I think. Or was it 305s? 305s.
305s, 315s in the rear.
I thought it was 305s.
either
Whatever
way.
it is, it's really wide. All
Those
four
are
corners.
that's a lot of tire.
It's a lot of
That's
tire.
a lot of tire.
Yeah.
Now see, I'm gonna bring the view of a street car, like a performance street car.
Yep.
Now, aside from GM marketing the ATS in an absolutely horrible fashion, because no one knows what it is. Absolutely no one knows what the ATS is. The ATS gets a lot of attention. But could that be because everyone thinks it's a CTS? I cannot tell you how often, man, is that a CTS-V? That's why my place says not a V. And
Yeah.
then I said, no, it's an ATS. What's an ATS? So people don't know about it. But everyone has this idea that Cadillacs are not fast and not sports cars.
Yep.
Or not fun, powerful cars. So when they see a one with a livery and, nice wheels and, really done up, it gives the people like, whoa, that's cool. It's a cool, modified, done up Cadillac. Versus a Camaro, you kind of expect that to happen.
Yeah, you do. You blend in
Yeah.
no matter what you have done.
I won't even say blend in. Like, you'll get attention with it. But, I mean, Tyler, you've told a story before. Like, people will come to you and say, oh, what's this? Is this a V8 one?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had one run in at a local gas station where I got out of my car and I was going in to get a pop, and some dude passed me and he goes, "Nice car, man. What's in it?" And I said, "Oh, it's a 2-liter turbo." And he called me a 6-letter word that starts with F. Just flat out, he said that, and then walked away.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, cool."
Yep.
But anyway,
Yeah. But, yeah, so.
That still boggles my mind.
I know
people
how
are so-
anyone in this day and age can. He got that upset that
That's-
car had a 2-liter.
Yeah, that's said about a car you own
Yeah.
that isn't his and he doesn't have. That's still way better, way faster.
And yeah, I know. There's so many people that talk shit on the 2-liter Camaros, and they're like, "Oh well, it needs V8," and they drive like a 4th gen with a LT1.
Yeah,
and you're like,
which-
"Oh, cool. You run 14s."
There,
Right.
and it even shows who once. Actually, when me and Tyler last both went to Tail of the Dragon, this actually happened because I was riding in the Camaro. We went up like way high, so we were just having fun, just chilling out. And a 5th gen SS gets behind us on the Dragon.
Oh yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. And so he's on us, kind of pushing us, or whatever. Tyler's like, I'm gonna turn up. I'm like, let's go, dude. Let's get it. If I'm in your passenger seat, I'm gonna hype my friends up every time. Tim knows it. Literally, all you guys know, I will hype you up. Like, and so Tyler's like, all right, we're getting it. So we get in. This guy, he's having trouble keeping up. He's getting up, but he's having trouble. And then we get to the end. He's like, man, dude, that 6-gen Camaro handles good. What you got done? I'm like, he's like, oh, it's a 4-cylinder. I was like, It's a 4-cylinder car.
Yeah.
What? And yeah,
And he was in a 5th gen. I don't know if it was a Z01, but it
SS,
had
15 SS.
it had big square tires, probably 295s, 305s. I mean, he had obviously the power advantage over me and the tire advantage, a little more weight, but we stretched our legs away from him for a little while.
Many times. It was a good time.
So I think that's one of my favorite things driving the 2-liter Camaro is the shock that it gives people when you tell them it's a 2-liter.
For sure. For sure.
But I think one of the biggest downfalls, like you said, with the ATS at the time when they marketed it, it was the first agile Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I mean, the 2nd-gen CTS was just a luxury car. The 3rd-gen CTS had come out, and the regular ones were nice. They were admittedly like a huge step forward.
Big, though.
But they're big cars.
Big.
They're big boats.
It's essentially like a 5 Series BMW. It's not like super light and nimble. Like the ATS is your lightweight 3 Series or your M3 fighter or your C-Class or your Audi A4 fighter.
And they didn't do anything with them. They were just like, here, these are cars.
Yeah.
Buy them.
They didn't market them for anything.
And there's like performance trims, right? That like nobody ever heard of.
There's
one called the Performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the ATS trims comes in your base, luxury, performance, and premium. And so you have a performance one, which is what the my car is. It's a performance.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it comes with a bunch of different options. They are capable in multiple platforms. They come all-wheel drive, which the Camaro does not.
Yeah,
like
that's
a lot of people,
that's a plus.
Like a lot of people say, oh, you don't need all-wheel drive. I think you don't, but all-wheel drive is just fun. You can have
Yeah, I mean it's a if you're a stoplight racer, then it's
Perfect.
It's second to nothing.
Yeah.
I mean it's a 13-second bone stock car that gets like almost 30 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
And it's a Cadillac.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's got the Q, which is arguably, it's still a
People on the-
nice
yeah.
interactive radio.
Yeah.
That's a nice car.
Except for the gauge cluster.
Yes.
It's kind of boring.
It doesn't bother me like it bothers you guys.
That is my top level. I think it's weird because Tyler and I have the same thing, but I think the ATS, once again, Cadillac missed the ball on it. The ATS gauge cluster is the worst part of it. Even on the V, and we haven't even started talking about how amazing
Yeah.
the V is.
Yeah.
But for the price you pay for a V and the performance of the V, the gauge cluster should not be as boring. Every other car that's competing against has these cool LCD screens and gauge clusters and reconfigurable things, but
Even the Camaro did.
even the Camaro did. But yeah,
But-
the ATS did not. It's just these boring and the thing about it is, after 16, I think the gauge clusters got worse. They lost the blue backlighting.
Yeah.
It's just
Just
most
just
basic.
the red, like
No, it's not even red. It's just like all white.
no, but it's just the needles red,
Yeah, and
and
white.
then that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the gauge clusters got worse the longer they went on. It looks like you're in a base model car.
In the
It sure
beginning,
does.
in a 13, 14 car, okay,
15.
sure, that's acceptable, but then you get into 2016 plus, and these cars are so new.
Yep.
And they didn't change anything, but
Yep.
I don't know. It's definitely a downfall when you get in, and I'm sure when people were buying them new, especially a V, and they hop in and they're buying a $60,000 car.
80.
Yeah,
$80,000
and you're
car.
like, oh, cool, it's got a sonic cluster.
Yeah, that's what one of our Ty Dizzle said. Like the gauge cluster out of the newer Sonics is kind of better.
Yeah,
I agree.
The older Sonic's even better though.
Oh yeah,
a little motorcycle.
Yep.
I don't know. That'd look a little silly in a Cadillac.
yeah.
But
But
You just get like a tack and that's
It's
it.
it's at least semi-sporty looking. I mean,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
unique enough that you get in the car and you're like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. But an ATS, like a gauge cluster makes the car feel like it's a sporty car. Like, so what I did in my ATS, for those of the customers that don't know, and what I'm gonna eventually bully Tim into doing, is we took the CTS-V cluster, which is the digital cool cluster. It comes in the Escalades too, and you can modify those to work in the ATS. And
yeah, why Cadillac put those in the Escalade, the XTS, and the CTS?
Yep.
And then they were like, the ATS doesn't
You
need
forget
it.
the ATS.
Yeah.
What's crazy is all the plugs are the same. Like
Yeah.
you literally unplug it and plug it into the back, and it's the exact same plug. All plugs.
I still need to do that to mine bad.
That's what I say. I'm gonna bully you into doing it eventually.
If as soon as somebody shows me a link that I can buy that gauge cluster, I will order it. But that gauge cluster seems to be the difficult part.
Yeah, they're expensive
Finding
and
one.
hard to find.
Oh, you just want to find one.
Yeah.
You done messed up now. Home.
Oh, hey, sounds good, man. I'll accept that challenge.
Okay, I will absolutely find one. But
Alfred says pony cars are affordable, 2 doors, 4 seats, performance orientated, but not flat out sporty.
If not flat out sporty.
Oh, pony cars often carried small blocks with 8 cylinders,
Yeah,
even 6 cylinders. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, the old Mustangs.
Yeah.
And so would a old Camaro be a pony car?
Yeah.
They had 4 seats and 2 doors.
6-cylinder and V8.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, the
Yep.
more you know.
The more you know. And Alfred E's been in the game a long time, so he kind of knows what's up. But yeah, so
HHRs are not pony cars. That's what we learned.
No, they have 4 doors, so they can't be.
so I want to put up another flag for Team ATS. The traction control and track abilities on track, they are good. Not amazing. And Tim, this is specifically for the V. So
okay.
I
was gonna say the ATS 2-liter traction and stability
is the worst.
terrible.
Ever.
Oh,
So
it's
that's why
awful.
That's why I'm not trying to mention that because I don't want to put a flag for Team Camaro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the V specific one. Technically, Tyler could talk about the SS ones, but yeah, Tim, why don't you talk about the traction control and capabilities and all the different modes?
I'm pretty amazed, really. There's a spot in Gingerman where the road kind of, does one of these, kind of zigzag section, and I could go through there flat out, and I would feel the car grabbing the front brake, on one side, the back brake on the other side, like just kind of pulsing the brakes here and there to keep it stable. And I'm just like foot flat, I think I had to turn it down to like 540 wheel or something to follow grid life rules. And that's amazing. So the track settings of the ATS-V are pretty amazing.
Now, can
the 2-liter one though are like you have to switch all that stuff off.
You just have to
completely.
put all of it off.
The 2-liter ATS, you just hold that button for the 5 to 7 seconds.
10 seconds to turn traction control and then ESC off.
Yeah, just turn that off.
You have
Same
to.
with the Sonic.
Yep.
There was my Sonic short thing on Tail of the Dragon. There was one time it almost caused me to go off the road because the stability control. I just came around the corner and it was like predicting that I was going to go sideways and it just started grabbing brakes and I'm like, oh crap. So I'm like I'm like in the corners holding the button, driving one-handed.
Yeah. Well, I will say that what's sad is that the Sonic and the ATS traction controls are actually fairly similar. They do the exact same thing.
Probably the same.
Yeah, they probably are. Well, the base model Camaros, the non V8 and up, I don't know if the V6 has got it, but it's similar as well. And it was one of the times I went out on Gingerman, and I was like, I'm gonna leave traction control on just for the first session, just to see how it does. I made it 2 corners, and I was the same thing. I was in the corner holding it down, like nope, get out of here. Yep. Because that traction control, if it's slipping at all and you're on the floor, it just goes boom.
Yep.
And then it waits 2 seconds, and then okay, and it comes back on. It's like the old Cobalt traction control that was terrible.
Yep.
The Sonic would start grabbing front brakes on you in the corner.
And the Sonic, I don't know if I think you've mentioned this with the ATS too. The Sonic will like artificially insert misfires
Yes.
into when the traction control's going off, so it doesn't use all its power. It's
Yep.
weird. And your ATS has done it to the point where it like goes into dirt mode.
Yeah, so I mean, it's something we're gonna have to. We've been working at getting around and things like that. But like, for instance, on Dragon specifically, like Dragon or any road course, because one of the last big events that we went to, I've had the ATS on road course was NCM during the Camaro Fest.
Oh yeah.
So Tyler was doing the autocross. That was actually the year before.
It was 18.
That was the year before you got. No, we had your Camaro there, but you weren't there for that one.
Correct. I was at CED.
Yeah, we because we all went down to. You had your black ATS. We went to NCM, and I was in I did intermediate just to kind of get a feel for it. And they're like, oh yeah, 4-door Camaro, come on out. And the next time they had me placed, they had placed me way in front of all the other V8 guys because I was just obliterating everybody on the track.
Yep.
But there were times like I had to. I had to literally, I would be a straightaway, and I would come into a corner and brake, get back on it. The car was like, and I would have to turn the car off. I had to turn the car off on track a few times.
While you were moving,
so I'm like, boop. I was like, boop, 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 boom, and then it was fine.
Jeez.
I had to do that multiple times. But the ATS-V is not like that.
No, it does not do that.
So tell us about the different track modes and different modes and stuff it has.
You have the hidden menu. You obviously you have your touring and your sport and your snow mode, but that's pretty much just I'm just gonna say transmission shift settings.
Yeah.
And then you have your hidden menu, and then that has like Sport 1, Sport 2, and then track mode, and that's when it starts doing the fancy stability braking.
How is it hidden?
You have to come to the intersection or whatever, and you have to double tap the button with perfect timing.
Yeah. It's kind of
when you're in track mode, and then it pops up a menu, and then you have to hit the up and down button to go to
Oh,
whatever one
really?
you want. Yeah,
Yep.
there's like wet mode,
Yeah.
Sport 1, Sport 2, Track 1, Track 2. It's kind of been a while since
Now,
I've been in them.
can you customize the amount of slip in the
Tyler
track
brought
modes
it
and
up.
everything?
Yeah.
Tyler's trying to get one for Team Camaro right now.
Definitely not.
Ah,
So-
The ZL1 Camaro,
yeah.
you
Not,
can.
Not just the ZO1. You can do it in the SS and in the.
Yeah.
Oh,
one that-
seriously?
Yeah, the
Steve's-
SS
Steve's?
Steve's, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve's has the slip percentage adjustment.
I believe so.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So you can dial in exactly how much slip you want on your launch, which
Yeah, like how much butt pucker do you want
Yeah.
on your
Yeah.
high horsepower burnout?
And yeah, on your burnouts or during track stuff, because correct me if I'm wrong, like you can set it so like in corners it allows you to slip this much. It allows you to do this much. So the SS, the 1LE,
And the ZL1
and the
1LE.
ZL1 and the ZL1 1LE all have that. If
Yeah,
that
that's
makes
pretty
sense.
awesome.
and to tangent off of that, another win for the Camaro is how much tire you can fit.
Oh, he got you there. He got you
you
there.
Some
can-
big boy tires.
Yep.
I mean, from the factory, you can get 300 plus. I think with all you have to do is move a wire in the rear, and you can fit 315s on all the cars in the rear.
Base model to
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, base
Freaking
model.
Camaro guys.
See,
Well, and they
we'll
come
have to
stock 19s, right?
Stock 20s.
20s.
Yes,
Yeah,
stock
they-
was stock 20s.
I have a coupe ATS-V, so I'm close to that.
Yeah, you are.
But I will say
295s, I think.
a 10-inch wide wheel in the front is absolute max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Like absolute max.
And on a 2-liter or non-V front end, which have the skinnier fenders, I am maxing at a 9. Like we put
Yeah.
the new wheels on, which you guys will probably see later.
Yeah, talk about some good-looking wheels.
We God dang it, Tyler. A 9 is like real close to that strut.
Yeah.
It's real close. So
Yeah,
on my V, with the camber I was running, I actually had to notch the control arm a tiny bit to keep it, because it would just touch occasionally.
Oh, yeah.
Like maybe a little bit of wheel bearing flex or something would cause the wheel to just kind of touch the control arm. But if you're not running 2.5 degrees of camber, then a 10-inch wide wheel will fit fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
And-
perfect offset.
But like frickin' Tyler, he's literally running like a square
19 by 10.
19 by 10
With
no
no
problem.
problem.
And he has space.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah, that's
275 square. I'm maxing a 245 on the ATS.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
fit an 11 in the front with the right offset, and in the rear you can fit up to a 12.
Now, also
That's nice.
on
That's
the next
a lot of tire.
yeah. On the next thing, I'm gonna kind of unfortunately I got a bat against our team, Tim. Appearance wise,
Ooh.
the Camaros just hands down. So
So many options.
One thing about a Camaro is that it is a Camaro. And
Yep.
so everybody likes them. And so, a lot of times, a lot of us, we're like, we want to be different. We want to have a car that's different. So unfortunately, with a car that's different, you get different issues. Like, there's not going to have as many body options. You're not going to have as many carbon fiber hood options. You're not
Yep.
going to have all this. You can go online and look for a carbon fiber hood for a Camaro, and you'll get 97 different Camaro carbon fiber hoods.
You can buy carbon fiber doors.
Yep.
Yep.
You can buy full plexi windows. That's actually one thing that Matt ran into on his drag car last year.
Yep.
He has a coupe ATS, and the doors are, I think,
Heavy.
almost 100 pounds a side.
Yeah.
Like, I struggled to pick them up.
They're heavy.
And the Camaro ones are equally as heavy, maybe a little lighter, but you can buy carbon fiber doors. And he's
Yeah.
like, I should have just started with the Camaro, because then you could get doors and windows and all that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because it's a Camaro,
Yeah, because
and it
it's-
has that heritage, you have a
Everybody.
huge aftermarket.
Like, even the ugly stuff that people get, like window louvers in the back. Sorry if you guys have those. Things. They're
They're
ugly.
ugly.
I don't
They're
know why they
ugly.
do that. You can't see out of a Camaro anyway. Why would you lower it any more than you already do? But you can get so much stuff for a Camaro. Seat brackets, steering wheels, interior trimming,
bumpers.
hoods, bumpers, lights.
Multiple front bumpers,
Yeah.
multiple front lips, multiple rear bumpers, multiple
Yep.
diffusers.
Diffusers,
Yeah.
side
Like-
skirts.
So many wings.
Yeah,
And
well,
like
I-
you said with wheels, you can buy any wheels
You
off
can buy any
Marketplace,
wheel.
they'll fit.
Yeah, because the
'Cause-
5x120 is everyone runs a Camaro
Yeah.
wheel, so you have
Yep.
1,000 options. While the ATS still has good options. The ATS is a 5x115 car, but 5x114s fit, and that's what everyone puts on them anyway.
Yep.
Those will fit just fine. They work. They'll, you can get pretty much any offset, and you're fine. You're good to go. But it's the fact that you're limited sometimes.
Yeah. It's definitely a downfall.
I'll
for
bring
that.
up 1 point for Team ATS
Okay, hit us.
because you mentioned it. We got to talk about the windows.
Oh yeah,
It ruins the driving experience for me. I
It-
can't do it.
the how you can see out of the Camaro.
Oh, the Camaro, yeah.
the
The,
Camaro
visibility,
visibility
is
is so
absolutely terrible.
bad. Like it puts stress inside of me
The
trying to drive it.
The only car I've driven, and I'm sorry, Alfred, I know you're in here, but the only car I've driven that has worse visibility for a tall
man.
person is an HHR.
I want to love HHRs, but they are made for small people.
Yeah.
They're
You
great for
cannot-
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like for
I
Tyler.
I love HHRs.
If you're over 5'8" or 9, like you just can't.
Like,
You
seriously,
can't drive
I
an
feel like
HHR.
I can see everything in
Every
it.
time
Yeah.
I come to a stoplight, if you're the first person in, God help your soul, because you're doing this.
Yes.
My
Yes.
my brother-in-law is 6'4",
Ugh.
and he had to ride in Erica's HHR once.
Oh.
Thank God we had the sunroof because he said he was tilted like this, and his head was resting on the sunroof.
That's what. See,
I don't know. Why didn't somebody, and I probably should bring this up for ourselves and not say this out loud, but why didn't somebody come up with lowered seat brackets
Yeah.
for the HHR? Cut like an inch
Well,
and a half out of the seat bracket.
because the driver's side is electric.
There still might be room to fit it.
I
The
believe-
seats sit pretty high.
Yeah, so like people that get aftermarket seats, you should
Oh,
see the
yeah.
spacer that they like. The spacer that people,
Yeah,
that some
they're
of our
probably-
customers, they're literally about that tall.
Giant stands.
Like they're giant stands.
Well, because the
s-
problem is the dash is so high
The
too.
dash is
So
high,
you
too.
can't go low because then you can't
because
see over the
because
dash.
this is how tall the dash is.
Yeah.
Or the thing is. So
yeah,
and that's going to jump me back to the Camaro because the Camaro is the exact same way. However, I don't agree with Trevor. I have zero problem seeing out of a Camaro. There are some times where you're like, it's some weird. specific
it
differences.
takes a
Like you're on the highway and you want a lane change. You
Yeah,
can't tell me you
that's
can
true.
figure that out.
You
Like
can't-
you're just like
you can't do the look to your left, look to your right lane
Yeah.
change. You have to have your mirrors set up correct.
Yep.
But if it is your car and you set it correctly, like when I drive it in the summer, that first day, especially you're driving a Cobalt and my base model has no tint and it's like this giant
it's a
fishbowl.
It's a fishbowl. You can see everything.
You can see everything. I get in that and I was like, what
Yeah.
in the world?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so that it takes a day adjustment, but once you drive them on a regular basis, it doesn't ruin it for me.
Yeah. It doesn't
I-
ruin it for me either.
I haven't had a problem with, backing up or anything, and they have a backup camera, but
you'd need it, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, you can. You
yeah,
definitely
you,
need it.
you really do.
You
Um,
do.
You,
Yeah,
you couldn't back up without it.
Yeah.
but
like, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
my biggest gripe of the Camaro, especially because I'm a short guy, and Alex talks about it too, the windows are so small
love
and the
it.
door is so tall
I love
that the cruising
You can't.
position, you can't do it. You're like this.
No arm on the
Yeah.
No arm on the door.
Your
Now, see-
arm on the door is like this as you're driving, and I try it. You got your steering wheel here, and you're like, okay, but that's my favorite thing in the summer is to put the window
Put the elbow
down
on.
Oh
and
my
put the elbow
God.
there.
That
and
is the most
I don't
suburban guy
think-
thing I've ever heard.
I don't think we can do that in our ATSs either, can we?
Not very well because
it's
still
definitely
too high.
awkwardly high.
It's still awkwardly high. So I
It's
think,
you just like I think I kind of do it a different way. I think my arm's kind of forward because
you
like
just kinda
like yesterday. Yesterday was like what
Oh.
66
64.
degrees. Like
sunny. It was perfect.
the windows were down because everybody's talking like, oh, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna drive home with my windows down. I'm like, you guys are crazy, and then I'm driving home, windows down. I'm like, oh my god, this is great.
Fresh air.
it's-
Ooh.
feels real
so
nice.
good.
So what's crazy is I love. Okay, this is coming from a racer. Like I love how it looks, Like that's what I've never like in the Cobalt. I can do it now because I have my seats lower and all that stuff. But I think it looks so cool when some like a cool car
Oh,
goes
yeah, I
by
would say this.
and they're like driving down. You can only see like their neck up, so you're like they're sitting all cool, have a low hat going on, and like they just look like they're in the zone driving. Like yeah, that guy's bad.
I know what you're talking about because I hate it when you sit high in a car.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
And you just look like everybody's staring at me. Why is everybody looking at me?
Yeah.
because you know like in some cars like especially a lot of Cobalt cars you see like your like here up
Your
And
elbow up.
yeah your elbow up. I'm like ugh. But like Tyler's like smaller boy, so like when Tyler drives he's like in the Camaro all the time and I'm like God his life
You
is
can't
great.
even see me.
Yeah.
I look like I need phone books in it. It's hilarious.
It's great. But
There's that picture of me on Gingerman, and all you see is the top half of my helmet
Which is so-
out of the window. That's all you can see.
I think Tyler's a race car driver when he looks like that. You can only see this far up. Like yeah, he's in there. He's
like
ready
your
to go.
F1
I
down
do-
in this little
I
cockpit.
do agree with you, Ryan. It does look cool when the person in the car is sitting kind of low.
Yeah.
Because that's why the Evo, actually, I'll say Evo 10s were the first one I noticed it because the doors are really high and stuff. So you just like see like here up. I'm like, oh, that looks cool.
Well, that's so weird about those cars though, because the roof line is really high too.
Yeah.
So like even though I sit low in my car, they're still like 2 feet
Yeah.
above my head.
Oh, yeah.
That's like super weird because
yeah.
why would you not lower
I will
the roof
say
line?
the seating position in the Camaro is definitely a sports car.
Yes.
Because it's you're up kind of like so you're not sitting upright like a normal car.
Your legs are straight.
Your legs are straight.
Yep.
And that's the thing, like you definitely get the sports car drive when you're driving. I'll say driving a Camaro is closer to driving a Corvette than like an ATS to like
Oh,
a
yeah.
Corvette or something like that.
I agree.
So
Yeah, for sure. If you want to feel like you're in a sports car,
Yep.
you know, even a 2-liter car on a stock turbo, it's not fast. They're plenty quick, especially when tuned and modded. Like they're low 12-second cars all
Yeah.
day. That's quick. But just tooling around town, not even going fast, and you feel like
you feel like you're in a sports car for
you
sure.
it is super gratifying, like driving downtown Grand Rapids, and you know the little kids
Yeah.
will look in, they'll
Oh,
like
they're
wave and
waving
yell
at
at
you.
you, and you're like,
Yeah.
I've made it.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing, like a Camaro, you can look like that, but like in my ATS, it gets those kind of looks because it looks crazy. You know, it has its wheels, it has a livery on it, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why. But now, since we're still talking about interiors, I think interior overall, I'm gonna give it to the ATS.
Really?
Overall,
I'm gonna defer with you.
I think the ATS interior looks a little better. So a few things I don't like about the Camaro interior. Camaro interior, like you have this cavernous tunnel that is your gauge cluster. It's like this big hole that's
They are
about
huge.
this
But
big.
cooler than the ATS stock gauge cluster.
Style wise, yes, but like overall, like how it's set up in there, I think the ATS wins that. Like if you just look at like the leather with like the, it's a little thing like that big and stuff.
I do like the center of the dash of the Camaro better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I really was impressed with how you control the fan temperature and
The knobs?
Yes.
Yeah.
That I will say. But like I don't know, though just the flat side on there is really weird to me. Like unless you do something like I think maybe it's on Tyler's car because that's the one I'm in the most. Like the Z01s, they have like the suede or carbon fiber one there, so that feels more sporty. But there's just nothing going on over here.
Yeah,
It's just a
yeah.
big
Mine is.
space.
I'll definitely give it to the ATS. Is a more premium interior. You know, your all your touch points are leather. There's not a lot of scratchy plastic. In my Camaro, the doors are scratchy plastic. The dash is scratchy plastic. Like it's utilitarian.
Yep.
To a point, but again,
Camaro's
because-
lighter than the ATS.
Camaro is lighter
It's
than
lighter.
the ATS.
But because of the aftermarket, you can get nice
Do door
bolster
stuff.
pads. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
get
Yeah.
And I do. This is kind of ricer, but I really like about Steve's. He's got the interior lighting package.
That's so cool.
and you can
Oh.
change the
Oh.
the door little thingies.
I was
and
gonna say I liked just yours, just the paint matched ones.
No.
I
think
like the
that's so
paint
cool.
match. Looks good.
The paint match does look good, but the fact you can change your interior lights
Yeah.
to all be the same color.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I'm calling out Steve Hickman. He tells me he never changes because he never pays attention to it. I'm like, I will be changing that every week. I'll have
Yeah,
red
it's
one
pretty
week, blue this week, perp, green. Give it to me every day.
Yeah.
Let's change it.
So yeah, I would say ATS wins on overall interior. The Q is tough to get
It's-
used to.
Yep.
The Q is
The
bad.
biggest thing for me was learning that you could swipe on the volume
See,
and the other controls.
I learned that, and I don't know what I do wrong, but every time I get in one of those cars, I open the cubby door. It makes me
You touch
so
the little
mad
thing.
because it takes so long to close it. again.
Okay, I know what you're doing wrong. Okay, I can tell you now. So the cubby door is on the bottom, and the volume is on the top. So you're pressing down here, homeboy. You're pressing the
I
volume.
think I'm trying to like turn off the heated seats or something, and I like
just a
And it
button.
just-
touch the edge of the bottom. I like do one of those. and
not
it's
like
like,
you guys.
I have accidentally opened that before
Oh, yeah.
with using your fingers and like your knuckles. So you got your pointer finger
Oh,
pointed out,
yeah, and it-
and your knuckles glad.
I do this.
it
with
might be that, yeah.
Yeah, no, maybe. So I will say the Q. You know,
The,
we'll
the
take
little
away
cubby
points.
though is cool.
The little cubby.
Except
is
you
cool.
can't fit a phone in there.
I hate
so
the
it's
cubby.
dumb.
Yeah, you can't. I like the secret cubby because I thought it was the coolest thing, but sometimes it doesn't want to go back down. So it's like
Yeah,
the car. So I'm
because
like,
you
I don't know.
accidentally hit it, and it's like.
No, it's not that slow. It's like
And then you're like close.
no, you swipe it and then nothing happens. Yeah.
I will say, when you accidentally open it, it is impossible to get closed. You touch it
Yep.
like 7 times, and it just sits there, and you're like, space car.
But in certain option cars, that's a charging pad for the phone. It does for the phone.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be
old like
nice.
iPhone 7s.
Yeah.
These
Yeah, I was
new
gonna
ones
say,
don't
like,
fit.
It's not-
we have that 17 Escalade with the Wi-Fi
Yep.
wireless charging thing, and I'm like, oh heck yes, stick my phone in there, it doesn't work.
Yeah, because it's too big. Yeah.
And then I got a new phone, I'm like, oh maybe this phone will work. Nope, doesn't work.
doesn't
So
work.
it's like this thing is stupid.
Yeah, you would need the new iPhone 13 mini
Okay.
for
Yeah.
it to fit in there.
I'm trying to give our ATS points. So ATS, number one, we're talking about premium model Recaros. The SS
Yep.
Recaros suck.
Some
Yes.
guy mentioned
Yeah.
ATS wins in seats.
Yes.
ATS definitely wins the seats.
Yeah, the Camaro has no good stock seats.
Yeah. I mean,
Nope.
Even the factory Recaros look weird.
They look weird. They're not that bolstering, and they weigh almost 100 pounds a piece.
Yeah. Well, ATS ones do too, but ATS at least look better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
true.
and trunk space. ATS wins on trunk space. ATS wins on trunk space.
Yeah.
The actual usable trunk space of the Camaro isn't bad. It was whatever designer decided to make the opening 1.5 feet at the bottom
It's true.
by 2
It's
foot.
like this.
My
Like-
favorite is Tyler usually goes golfing every
Yeah,
summer,
the golf club.
and he can't put him through the trunk hole, so he always opens the passenger door, slides the seat forward, and shoves it like through the
Okay,
door on an.
so
If you guys want to see a fun thing, we love.
maybe
seeing it.
we should make a TikTok out of it in the summer.
Yeah.
Because my so I go golfing every Monday for leagues, and for a while that's what I would do is I would open the trunk and I try to get him in, and every week I'd think, oh shit, forgot. So I'd open the passenger door and I'd set him in like they're riding shotgun with me. Well, I found my rain cover for my golf bag, which covers the club heads and you can zip it so they're not all flopping
Hanging
around.
around, yep.
And now I can get it in the trunk. But it looks like I'm smuggling a dead body into the back of it. So you pop the trunk, and you have to put it in almost vertical, and then you slowly like tip it in, and then you go. I'm not kidding. You take the whole thing and you shimmy it like this because it has to get over this little hump and go into the. Oh, you have to fold down the back seats because of course it won't fit in just the trunk. So you fold down the back seats and then you go, and then it finally falls in. But the worst part is when the Camaro back seat is down and you have your windows down, it is the worst vibration
Yeah,
noise
the
in the world.
vibrating noise.
If you don't if you're cruising down the highway with one window down, it's going bum, 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 and your ears are going nuts. So as far as practicality, yes, the Camaro is completely useless.
Yeah.
That is pretty funny how they accidentally do that. Like, how about this one? A 2-liter ATS. If it's sitting there idling and you open the door,
Don't do it. Don't do
there's
it.
that weird thunder.
Yep.
Like these bone stock exhausts that
Yeah.
you can't even hear idling. There's just thunder when you open the door. It's like, what is that?
It's just
What is that?
it's
Yeah.
very odd resonance frequencies that just somehow happen.
Yeah. But you know, onto the Camaro trunk again, the opening. It's comical to just open the trunk and just look at it.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
It
It really is.
Like it's like, what engineer did that? Please fire them.
Yeah. No,
Because-
the thing about the trunk in a Camaro, I will maintain, is an afterthought. They did all of the cool design. They're like, oh crap, guys, we kind of need to put a trunk in this thing because we gotta.
But it doesn't make any sense because the plastic comes in and there's nothing there. It's not like the strut towers were interfering with the opening. They're just like
Tyler, they interfere with the Camaro taillights. Duh. I'm telling no.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guarantee that the
I
Camaro
really think
taillights
so.
were formed before the trunk. I
probably.
guarantee it.
Tim,
So we have a
the
friend-
Adam Project says his Sky is awesome for a small golf set.
really.
Like a
You can fit a golf
mini
bag?
golf set or like
A putter?
I think he's
Really?
talking about in the seat. Like he's probably puts it in the passenger seat. That's what I would assume.
I don't know though, because they may have designed that around a golf bag
They
because
probably
the
do.
middle
Because
hump does
the-
like have a step in it that maybe
Yes.
you can.
the new C8 Corvette, the
Oh,
rear
the rear
trunk
trunk is.
space is specifically
Specifically made
designed
for a golf
for
club.
a golf club
Oh.
set. Well, obviously they had to
I
market
know,
it to
they have to,
60-year-old
They have to.
white
Yeah.
dudes,
Yeah.
but they might have done that in the Kappa.
One thing I will say is I did like stage 1 lightning on my Sky, let's call it, and that was removing the trunk carpet. One of the first things I do to one of my race cars, and that trunk gets pretty large when you pull that out.
Just all the.
Oh,
That
that's just
trunk carpet fills it covers up a lot of holes to put things.
Fred says 0 to 60 in Tyler's car and 0 to 60 in my car. Tyler's car has another thing for the Camaro. They have like weird, cool little timers. Tyler's car has like a 0 to 60 performance
Yeah.
timer and all that stuff. My ATS is a little older, so I don't. I haven't ever done it or timed it. Tyler's car would 100% win in a 0 to 60.
How is your traction control if you were to do like a little power brake and punch it off the line?
Useless.
Okay, so
just
there
falls out of the face.
is no like launch
No.
at all.
No, in the LS and the LT, it's off or
Okay.
fall on its face.
And then Ryan, like your car also does not.
No, I
so
don't- I won't
that's
be doing it.
I'll have to say the ATS-V does have a couple launch modes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
So that's
Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty
sweet.
sweet.
It does. It sounds cool. If you guys haven't heard of ATS-V launcher, which you can just put it. It sounds like a two-step. You get on
It's
it,
like
you put it in there, put the clutch in.
Yep.
And it's
For you ATS guys, if you're going to run drag tires at all, do not use the launch mode at the drag strip.
no.
It's terrible. But on the street it works amazing. When my car ran 10.3, I was next to a Hellcat Charger, and I did a launch control on our 888Rs, and it worked magically.
Yeah.
The guy didn't race, so joke's on me. But
Ah.
if he would have, he would have lost
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it thoroughly impressed me how well the traction
No,
control
he got
did.
flexed on. Don't-
Like, I guarantee you, when that light went green and I took off, he was like, "Oh, I'm glad I didn't race that guy."
yeah.
But even making over 100 wheel horsepower more than stock, like it works still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool
But-
that it can actually adapt to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I will say if my car was like a all-wheel drive car on like a Z57 like it is now, that thing would get out of its own way out of the hole.
Yeah.
Like, really
so-
bad. But my car is the worst one. It's a manual 6-speed car.
Yeah.
With a
Weird
big turbo.
gearing and-
Yeah,
For-
weird gearing. So, yeah.
For
my car-
reference, the last time I took the Camaro to the track, which was in
It's like 3 years ago, wasn't it?
2019, so about 40 horse less than it was before it's going in for some upgrades.
You were saying
On-
about 55 torque.
Yeah. On drag radials, it did 3.8, 0 to 60 on my
Pretty good.
timer. Now, what was that Z57 all-wheel drive ATS?
Oh, jeez.
It was.
What did Matt say? It was like a 2.9 or
It
something?
was sub 3,
Yeah, Sean Odell's
Yeah.
Oh,
ATS.
yeah, Sean Dale, yeah.
which Robert
he-
Thomas now owns.
Yeah, he sold it, and this other guy has it. This dude, like, it's a forged engine, our forged engine, cams, valve springs, Z57, ZZP tune. That's pretty much it, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
E85 flex fuel and cold air intake downpipe. That car went to the track and ran like an 11.9 in like total street trim on
Street
pump
tires.
gas
Yeah.
and like no track prep.
Yeah.
Dude
just
showed up and just power braked it and launched and ran 11.90.
That's,
Yeah, and that
that's
wasn't
pretty
even
sweet.
on the like kill tune.
Yeah.
No.
And,
It
see,
was-
and that's what a lot of people that want to say, oh, the track times are all that matters, which I think there's a lot of different ways to have fun with the car versus just your track time. But just think that's with non kill tune, I said, like just full weight street tires. I think he still had stuff in the trunk. Like he didn't even take all the stuff out, and it ran 11.9 just on street tires. That's really good.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Matt estimated about a 2.9 0 to 60, which is super well, not supercar anymore, but that kind of.
It's
It's pretty
Sub
darn
3 is
close, man.
absurd.
For
Yeah.
production car, that's pretty
Yeah.
top tier. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
That's
and
nuts.
and that like you mentioned, that was not a kill tune.
No.
No.
Like it was just like here you go, here's your keys.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drive
like-
it every day.
Drive
Yeah.
every day. Hey,
Power brake it
Tadizzo-
to 4,500 and let off the brake and go.
Tadizzo has never used his launch code in ATS-V, so I haven't used it in the auto cars before. Even though we've tuned a bunch and I've ridden it a bunch.
It works.
Jimmy, but-
It works pretty well in the
works pretty-
auto.
I'm sure, but on Tim's car is a 6-speed manual. That's fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. It makes cool noises as a rev matching downshift, so it just makes cool noises. It sounds pretty cool, and you can beat up on it forever and just beat the snot out of it. It's cool sounding, and I'm a fan. I think
Okay.
it's awesome.
So sounds.
Ooh.
Exhaust notes.
It's hard because you guys have to understand here the two-liter cars we have is Ryan's rear-wheel drive, manual, big turbo ATS, and then your Camaro is auto,
Stock
rear
turbo.
drive, and stock turbo. So
However, though, it is
driving
weird.
experience
The-
on ATS all day.
The sound of it though, it's so weird that me and Tyler have the same engine, but our cars sound massively different.
Same exact engine, same exact catback.
Yep.
Which is the same downpipe, same first two sections of the catback. The only difference between the ATS and the Camaro, because they have the
Width.
same mufflers, is the width of the tips.
Yes.
But
well,
Ryan's-
wheelbase is technically different, right?
Well, we're talking about the exhaust points, just the exhaust.
Well, is the exhaust shorter?
no.
Shorter wheelbase?
Nope.
Well,
I don't think so.
know.
Guys, let us know. I think the Camaro and the ATS share very similar because the same chassis. I think the wheelbase.
I think the
is-
wheelbase is the same. But regardless, Ryan's car sounds completely different from mine.
Yes.
Now, that could be because of the exhaust housing on the Z57 versus a stock turbo. So we'll see here soon
because
if it's
somebody is about to get a little Z57
might
action going
have
on.
a little bigger turbo action here going on. But outside of the LTGs, because LTGs normally sound like tractors.
Yes.
They're not great. The only exhaust that I've ever heard that I like on our cars is our exhaust.
Yeah, the
and I'm not
RB2.
even
Not even hyping our own
obviously
stuff up.
it's gonna be the ZZP is gonna say that, but our exhaust is really the only one that sounds good.
Yep.
A ATS-V with our downpipe and catback versus a V8 Camaro,
Oof.
I would almost say the ATS-V sounds
ATS-V
better to me.
sound freaking amazing.
That
Yeah.
for a V6 car, like and I'm not gonna say because that's diminishing it. It sounds good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Our
Yep.
valve catback sounds very good. However, I don't know, man. I don't know, maybe because his rider's been on a V8 kick lately, but there's something like Steve's car.
We're gonna disagree here.
Dude, Steve's car sounds
You want to
so
know what I'm
good.
You want to know what I'm over?
What?
V8s.
I
I'm
agree.
over them.
Yeah.
I'm sick of these guys that put ridiculous loud exhausts on their
That's true.
stupid V8s.
They're
Like,
truck dudes.
like-
truck
Yeah,
dudes.
yeah.
You
I'm,
truck guys.
I'm over it. Like the ATS-V with our catback engineered by Alex. Like he
It
made.
sounds good.
Man, when we first took Steve and I's first ATS-Vs to the track and we dropped the catback, so they're
Catbacks.
open down pipes. The first time we do a burnout, both Steve and I just kind of rolled our eyes like in the car, like, oh man, here we go.
We are these guys.
They-
We are these here comes the drag V6 guys.
Yep.
So guys, so FYI,
then-
the if you take ATS-V catback off and run it open down pipes, it sounds
It
like
sounds terrible.
It sounds like a straight pipe 3800. And I'm sorry for
Yeah.
3800 guys. Do not
Yeah,
straight
it
pipe
does.
your cars. It sounds like a straight pipe 3800 and it does not sound good.
It doesn't sound good at all. It sounds terrible. Like you might potentially be the worst sounding car at the track.
Yep.
But we're gonna come up with a drag exhaust for the ATS guys. And to Dizzle, our 888Rs are great for daily.
Loud.
When they are loud.
Yeah,
they're
they're loud.
super loud. It sounds like a freaking train siren going, a siren driving down the highway. But they're great if you're in heavy rain. Drive
down.
conscious of it.
Yeah.
Slow way down.
And if it's under 40 degrees, they're worse than a
Useless.
set of pilots, you
Yeah.
know. So they're great daily. I mean, it's my daily tire. But if it gets super cold or it rains, I'll just take my other car
Yeah.
Yeah.
to avoid a potential issue.
But
Shout out Federals.
Shout out Federal. Still sponsor us. The V with our catback, it
sounds good.
really does sound like an exotic car.
It
We were
does.
riding in Tim's today, which actually has our discontinued non-valved one.
You got a valve one on that car now.
No,
Nope.
it's a non-valve one. And when he gets on it, it's like Supra slash
Like
Super
GTR,
car.
like
inline.
super GTR.
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of sound. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's
does.
really
I'll,
good.
I'll say, from what I've heard in person, I like the ATS-V sound more than GTRs.
Oh yeah.
GTRs kind of
GTRs.
suck.
They have
Yeah, I
weird
never
sounds.
liked GTR
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
I like them, but they all sound so monotone. Like if you listen to one GTR race, they all sound the same. Boo boo boo.
Yeah.
boo,
It's kind of like that,
boo,
like
boo.
almost sport bike sound.
And here's the thing, like, you got to keep in mind every video you watch of a GTR is going to make 1,000+ wheel.
Yeah.
Because if you're not making 1,000+ wheel, then take it and throw it in the trash.
Yeah, essentially.
Because you have a GTR. If you're
Yeah,
not making
yeah.
1,000 wheel, then burn it to the ground.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
So to hear 1,000 wheel horsepower car that doesn't really sound that
good.
great,
Yeah.
I'll pass.
Because typically when you increase horsepower, it's going to sound a
yes,
lot better.
Yeah, they sound
yes,
better.
that was the point I was trying to make.
Especially to kind of circle back is Matt Meekoff's 3800 big turbo car.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Makes 800 plus, and that thing sounds like a Supra all day.
It
It's
sounds
amazing.
Yo, horsepower. I think Tim Beek, you said, is horsepower makes things sound cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
look at Matt's ATS.
Yeah,
Mass ATS
Also
sounds
sounds
pretty good.
amazing.
yeah.
Sounds really good.
Even with just a dump.
Maybe it's just power, because look at your Camaro, Ryan's ATS, and Matt's ATS.
That's true.
That is true.
It's-
That's a good point.
It could be just power.
But no, I will. I will have to say back. Like, I think what gets me about Steve's car is how it shifts. But that's an 8-speed auto, and when they're shifting really crispy, they sound kind of F1-y. I think
Yeah.
that's why I like it's like boom, 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 and I'm
I
like,
d- that 8-speed tranny's pretty cool, but the ATS-V gets that tranny too.
it does.
It does.
And I
So-
will say, many of our customers, Shane Hatfield, for instance, when he had his, it did sound just as cool because he had our valve catback on there.
Yeah.
And when this shifted, I love the 8-speed. auto.
Unfortunately, the
Yeah,
base
Tyler's
model
8-speed
8-speed
does
is
not
not
sound
the
No, no.
Nope.
When he's at full throttle, it does. When
Nope.
he at full throttle, it does do the quick blips.
It does weird warbliness, and
I don't know what it is. It just doesn't.
Yeah, well, obviously the base model cars, because way back in the day, me and Tim raced his manual V. Again, my car, and his car was making significantly more at the time. This one I'm making like 400-ish, and he was making like 5. So we knew it was kind of going to happen, but I'm like, I'll lie, see where it goes. I had to shift 3 times before Tim shifted twice.
It was pretty funny.
We were both in second gear. I was like, Tim was like, and I'm like shifting my ass off.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, like it's just the base model cars. We get the
You get
economy train,
the short end of the stick sometimes.
You should probably give me your keys anyway. I probably can do some new fancy stuff with
Oh,
that
I'm sure.
tranny.
Yeah.
But no, like
I've been playing around with it lately.
I really like how I'll say that. Maybe it's not the sound. Maybe because I like the cool, fast shifting.
Yeah, the
of
crispness
8-speed.
is-
It's the
yeah.
crispness, and it like kind of does a little sounds like you're like Need for Speed shooting fire out of your rear, like bah, bah, bah. Like I think that's so cool.
Yeah.
I will say on road course, it's definitely better when you're like actually full throttle on it.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than driving around town.
downshifting and revving it all
yeah.
the way. And,
Except for when it doesn't let you drown-shift. And
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you're definitely gonna have to
unfortunately.
do something about that, like sooner than later.
Well,
I would
yeah.
at least start with a 1LE tranny cooler, or just go bigger.
Yeah, it needs some cooler before I get out on road course, but that's
Yep.
part of why I'm doing the blue car this year.
An idea is use one of our heat exchangers from like one of our known applications for your tranny cooler. What if you used a
yeah.
LSJ stock
Stage-
heat exchanger?
Yeah, or a stage
for your
3,
training cooler.
yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. Do
The
some
stage
cool mounting.
3, I wouldn't use that, but like our
That's thick, yeah.
standard LSJ heat exchanger, that would probably work.
What,
pretty
what,
well.
did, what did you say about a stealth heat exchanger for it?
That's too big.
What did you say about a stealth heat exchanger for it?
I mean, you could. But
Yeah. So yeah.
where are you gonna put it with that intercooler?
Don't worry about it. Shove it somewhere.
V mount somewhere
Put
somehow.
it flat under the engine. Raise your car up.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Raise your engine.
Raise the car? No.
So I don't know, guys. I mean, this is kind of up to the customer. So far, a lot of people have really good taste. So ATS overall is a very good platform. Both Alpha chassis cars.
Yep.
Camaro's lighter.
Camaro's lighter. Camaro's
So if you want to go
significantly-
fast.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
team
Camaro-
ATS for almost everything, but I will say, like, looking at both of them in a parking lot, the Camaro looks sweet.
Camaro does the
It
six
just-
shit.
yeah.
So I used to think 5th gens looked really good, but then they didn't age well. And I still think the Z01, the 5th gen Z01s and Z28s look cool, but the 6th gen Camaro stuck it up.
Wow, do you see that?
Yeah.
ATS murdered the Camaro.
Ooh.
Wow.
I mean,
Dang.
I obviously own an ATS-V, so I guess that's my choice. But
Yeah.
I definitely can't take away from the Camaro. I mean,
Yeah,
the Camaro.
It's hard.
If Tyler and I both built 2-liter, ATS versus a Camaro, like Tyler's going to end up having a faster car.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my God.
You are rude.
You just really wanted to kill me
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
Al just
he's
came
already
in
dead.
and just
Oh,
said
Murdered.
Tyler sucks.
He was waiting for that, yeah. But guys,
wow, the amount of shade.
yeah, I will say it's
I don't think the audience heard, but Al just came in and said Tyler's still gonna miss second gear.
in his automatic A-speed car. This man's dead.
I'll let you know. Last time we were at the track, I never missed second.
That's true.
But then I broke it.
You did shear off the axle.
I did, yeah.
So I do think that is a good point. So I think it depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
Overall,
Yeah.
I think if you're just building a straight out drag car and want something that looks like different in there, you get a Camaro. But if you do like a more balanced street car kind of thing, even go on the track.
Did you say you want to be unique,
No.
just like a race car?
No, I said if you want to be straight up race car,
Oh, yeah,
go
Camaro.
fast,
Yeah.
Camaro.
Yeah,
But like
for
want to
sure.
be unique and all this stuff like
Yeah.
there, more unique, you pick the ATS.
ATS
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Now
Camaro just wins by numbers.
Yeah.
It's lighter. It's wider.
So, I also will
lower.
say this is a shot against the ATS. So this is a quick story. I went to the I was in my girlfriend's Equinox and we were going to the car wash. And
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, hey, it's not so I went to the Tommy's car wash, the Magic Carpet ride. And I look next to me and I see a silver Camaro pull up, and it said Z01. I'm like, oh, sweet, a Z01. That's pretty sweet.
Yep.
I'm looking at it a little bit more. I'm like, wait a second. It doesn't have 4 exhaust tips coming out of each side. So for those you don't know, the SS and up, so SS, 1LE SS, Z01, Z01 or 1LE, they all have 4 tips. I'll come back. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. What's going on here? Now I look at the side, and I'm like, those are 18-inch wheels. The Z01s and 1LEs and SSs all come with like 19s and 20s.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I look at the brakes. There's no 6-piston front brakes in the front and no 4s in the back. I'm like, no, that's the only option on the Z01. What's going on here? Look at the front, Z01 front bumper. I'm like, that's the wrong Z01 front bumper. They didn't come with that one in that year. And I looked at the guy and I looked at the wing, no like Z01 stock wing. So SS Camaro guys, you get the guys badging up all the time.
Yeah,
I will say-
Icon makes a Z01 front bumper that a lot of the 2-liter dudes do, and it looks so dumb.
Guys, you Camaro guys that
I
put a Z01
really do
front
not like
bumper
that.
on your base model cars, guys, I get it. It looks a little better sometimes, but it is not. It
I-
would be cooler
I
doing
would-
an SS front bumper on the base model than the base model.
I would argue that my base model front bumper with 2 nice grills looks better than that fake Z01
Over
bumper.
exaggerated.
Your
front
grill
bumper.
is like the move.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah.
should do
it
that.
completely changes the front
Yeah.
end of the base cars.
Matt B, I'm calling you out. SS1LE. I mean, maybe if you're driving it, but if I'm driving an ATS-V versus you in a SS1LE, I'll give you 1 second and I'll still smoke it.
there
That's
you
all-
go.
That's a lot.
SS1LE. Come on, get out of here.
You got a lot more torque in a
So much torque.
tuned ATS-V.
yeah.
So much more power potential, I would say, too. I mean,
Yeah.
jeez.
Well, bolt on for bolt on, yeah, for sure.
like an ATS-V, you could just do like bolt-ons in a tune. An SS, like you have to like get deep into it
you
to
gotta
make
get pretty
power.
deep into it
Well,
to get power.
yeah, and they have DI limitations as well.
Yep.
And from what I hear, I can't remember. Is it the piston rings? Something the LT ones don't like when you make a lot of power. But
Rods.
Is it the rods?
It's rods. Yeah,
Okay.
like you pretty much to try to get north of like I think 7 north of it's like north of 650. You gotta do rod. You gotta do a full
that's
build.
So
like their
LT4s
hard
actually
line.
have different rods.
I think so.
Interesting.
Eh, I guess both engines kind of have a similar problem.
Something that touches the rods.
As soon as you get around maybe 630 to 650 wheel, you have to worry
Matt
about
B
bottom
says,
ends.
"See you at the road course."
No,
Sam."
B.
he's not ready. He's not ready.
Matt B, Gingerman, Grattan. We're going Grattan in October. We're going Gingerman in May.
Oh,
And then we got all summer between that.
Let's do it.
that's true. That'd be
Fred
sweet.
Nugent, I don't know if you're still in here. I'll answer your question from way earlier, yes, I did sell my Sonic actually to one of my coworkers here. Dirty Curdy here bought my.
Curtis broke it.
Yep.
Curtis already broke it. He broke like 7 things on it already. Curtis
Nah,
messed it
he's
up.
he's having fun.
He did the car guy thing, and everything he broke, he put an upgraded part in place of it.
That's true.
So
We're
he's
proud of
doing
him
a
for
good
that.
job.
That's true.
But yeah, I sold it to him, and I'm glad because he's loving it. He's having fun. And now all the kidding guys want Sonics.
Nice.
That's
They
how it
all
goes.
have driven and ridden in his
See,
Sonic and are like,
all the other parts
we
of the
gotta-
shop are behind the office team.
See,
Yeah.
now we
already went
just
through
got to
the
let
phase.
them know about spec base model.
yep.
Oh, spec base model.
Are we done
Every
now?
time.
Are we done
I
yet?
had to
come
close
back.
the podcast with that.
Why does it get brought up at the end, like when I'm going to have to stand up? I can't stand up right
Oh
now.
my God.
Yeah, Eric, can we have a spec base model podcast?
Ooh, he says,
next week?
Matt B says Gingerman in October.
Ooh.
Well, in fact, here, how about this? Matt, what is your best time on
Yeah.
Gingerman with your Camaro SS1LE?
Ooh, I'd
Yeah.
be very interested because
Oh,
I have
yeah.
a quite respectable time in my
Yeah.
little 2-liter.
Matt, yeah, what is your, but before we close
On
out,
Weird
Federals.
flex.
On
Yeah.
Federals.
Hey, Matt B.
No.
My ATS-V,
hold on,
3
hold on,
years ago.
Hold on. Don't say it yet.
Oh.
We got it. I want to hear Matt's, what he actually runs at Gingerman. And
I
then-
raced Gingerman. I won't say the time. I raced Gingerman in my ATS-V the first year of
First
racing.
year.
First year, yeah.
The first year of ever being on road course, ever doing an autocross, ever turning a corner and flooring it. And I ran a pretty good time.
Pretty
Pretty
good
good
time.
time. Pretty good time.
All right,
Like-
chat, come on.
And
Yeah,
you said
come
yours
on.
was,
Come
it
on,
was
Matt.
turned down at that, right?
Yeah,
Five
it was,
something?
filtered.
it was turned down to like 540 wheel, I think, back then.
Yeah. I want to know Matt B's time. We give you
know.
a few minutes here because when he says it, I will.
I don't think he's ready for my Sky time on Gingerman. I don't think he's
Man.
ready. I don't think he's ready for my Sonic time at
Matt B
Gingerman.
is left the chat.
Matt B, don't do that. Never been to Gingerman. 118 at Blackhawk.
Okay.
I want to
Car
go to
3.
Blackhawk like really bad. I heard that track is a lot of fun
I
for
would-
the small
lot
cars.
of consequences.
Yeah.
Lot of consequences.
That's
That's
a
what
car.
makes fun, though,
That's
right?
a car that you take the Cobalt to.
Yes.
My Cobalt,
Yes.
not your Cobalt.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lot of consequences there. But yeah.
I'll look up on Camaro6.com. There's a nice thread of people with different times at different tracks, and while I'm not the top of the list, I'm at the middle of the list with a 2-liter car.
Nice.
And so, Matt, when you do go to Gingerman, please reach out and let us know.
Yeah, we love to come hang
but-
out. We're talking crap right now, but that's the fun part.
Yeah,
of it,
we
so.
love
yeah.
to.
So what are you guys' times
This is all
before
good
we
time.
close?
So I will just say that I still have the fastest time at Gingerman here at ZZ Performance.
Nope.
No.
He does. Still.
Oh shit.
What's your
Well,
time?
here I go. 142.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a 139.6.
139
In the V.
In the V.
Yep.
Yep, in the V, and then in my S2000, I was a 140,
144.
144 in my
Yep.
S2000.
So
NA,
guys, yeah, for those of you who don't know, like I love going to track, even though I haven't gotten a good chance to put out a good official time yet. A lot of HPGs.
Yeah, you need a track car.
Yeah,
like
I-
a track car.
Yeah, I just haven't go put out a good
Because
good
you build
official
all
time.
season cars.
Just like
Shut up.
copy paste the snowball and make a race one and a street one.
Hey, I got a base model I can
Someone's
sell you.
good. Don't you ever. Yeah. But yeah, Matt, if you are going to Gingerman, please shoot us an email.
Let us know.
We like to go to track
Yep.
and have
yeah,
fun.
we do Track Nights of America. We do a lot of those because they're Wednesdays after work. We'll just take
Yeah.
off like a couple hours early and just go there and race for
Yeah.
a couple hours. We do
Gingerman's open track days.
name
Yeah.
off some of the events.
8-ball,
Eight ball,
Yep.
Team 41.
GPS track time.
Yes.
all of them.
Track
Grid
time.
Life. Yeah, all those. So, and even if we can't make it to drive,
Okay, yeah,
I'm still
someone's
cool
coming.
to go to
Yeah,
We'll
Gingerman
take
and-
we'll take pictures and
yeah,
video of your car.
I
yeah.
love going to any race car.
Tim is getting his instructor itch on too. So Tim loves riding and instructing.
I do love it.
Yeah.
I'm not great at instructing. I do need to figure out how to instruct. I don't
It
don't
is
do
a
well with describing what to do.
You got to do the hands like Noah does.
maybe
Do you do that? He I think this is throttle, brake, and then he points like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Okay.
Yeah, it's super nice. I don't know how he does it, but it clicked when he was doing it for me.
Yeah.
Rev Match Track Group. Okay.
There we go.
Well, let's
Good.
look it up.
Yeah.
yeah.
So either way, guys, we have a lot of good fun.
Is that
and
new
stuff.
one?
No, that's Team
Um,
41.
Oh, okay.
We got a good ATS
Yep.
versus Camaro chat. Both have their place. Both are good.
Camaro won.
Yeah.
So
Dibs out. ATS, I think the chat disagrees with you. The
well,
chat.
the chat's wrong.
The chat
Yeah.
knows.
There was
the business.
12% that agreed with him? maybe.
Sounds like a
39.
sounds like a fail
So
on a
like
test to
two
me.
people.
No,
maybe?
I mean, don't exaggerate. I mean, 30%. That's like
Yeah.
less than a third.
Now, I will say that our ATS sales versus Camaro are about
Fine day.
5 times more ATSs
Yep.
than Camaros, so that makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, it seems like a lot of guys are like, oh, if it's not a V8 Camaro, it's not a real Camaro. Shut
yeah,
up.
I will
Saw
just
somebody
say
in
that
chat
my
shut up.
4-cylinder Camaro is outrunning old V8 Camaros all
It's
day.
a lighter
so.
Camaro.
Yeah.
And you don't need power for a road course.
No.
You just need a light car with a good driver.
And some good tires.
And Tyler is a great driver.
We have a light driver here. Light. And
we're
good
all
driver.
pretty good drivers here.
So.
You
All right,
guys have a good weekend.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next week. And happy St. Patrick's Day, I guess.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
That was yesterday.
It's the weekend.
Ah,
You can celebrate it on the
yeah.
weekend.
Some white people stuff. Who knows?
Good?
I like how Tyler threw both.